I'm Ajay Meher. I'm heading IT, new media and post-productions for Sony Entertainment Television. The legal name is Multiscreen Media, so popularly known as Sony Entertainment. We got 6 channels in our bouquet, television channels, that Sony, Max, Pix, Sub, 6 and Mix. These all are either Hindi general entertainment channels or movie channel, English movie and Hindi movie. We have a sports channel and we have a music channel also.
Okay, that's a lot of channels to
Yeah.
watch. What are some of the pressures you face on a daily basis as a CIO?
As a CIO, one is implementing is we are a growing organizations, and from an industry point of view there are huge competitions. So on a regular basis we need to know that how do we have a competitive edge over all our competitions, and need to implement the strategy which is a organization level and see that how can we streamline all our processes and for efficient purpose, and that's what is our main challenges today.
The changing dynamic of the CIO has meant that they need to focus more on the fundamental needs and priorities of the business before addressing IT.
Yeah.
Do you agree that this is the case?
Yep, this is true. See, may it be any industry, the people say that common sense is not the common today, and if you put a common sense into this, then all the industry looks a bit simple, and you need to on a regular basis you need to be knowing what is the better for the organizations, and appropriately any functions, may it be IT or HR or any other functions, you need to put what could be the win-win situations for the organizations and to whom you are dealing with needs to deal with that.
Right. Ajay, who do you currently report to and how do you work on fostering and improving that relationship?
I report to the Chief Operating Officer of Multiscreen, that's Mr. N.P. Singh, and on a regular basis we have discussions with them. The relationship is again organizational growth, and he is the driving factor for the strategy for the organizations, and we see that having the IT head role, also we need to see that how to streamline all the strategy and the processes within the organization, implement cutting edge solutions for the organizations. Like recently we have built broadcast management system, we have implemented digital asset management system. All these 2 major systems with the implementations, the time to air, that is the content going to air, the advertisement management, the promo management, all these things has cut down drastically. The efficiency has been built by more than 100%. By doing this, we definitely see that we are much better situations than many of our competitions with respect to how to deliver the content in a faster basis, how to streamline all our business processes, and that's what is our main challenges. And Mr. Singh, who is our CEO, is definitely with this.
Great. Ajay, how has your role as a CIO changed over the past 5 to 10 years with rapid advancements in technology?
As a CIO role, we need to also look into very critically a tactical role and also a strategic role. The role over 5 years, when I joined Multiscreens, at that time it was very critical with respect to the setting of new processes, setting of the new systems, etc. So it was more into a creation, and now we need to see that how we will be on a competitive advantages over all other organizations who are on the similar field. So the role has more into the strategy now, and as our growing organizations we need to see that how we will be doing better and better on a regular basis. The role from that point of view has changed drastically. Now the role is we need to see that what is better for the organizations. Secondly, you need to go and see that what are the different ways of doing it, competitions with respect to security of the content, security of the processes, building of the efficiency in the processes. That's all are very critical things, and a CIO is the best persons in organizations who has a complete knowledge on the end-to-end processes in organizations, and that's where we need to see that how to build that efficiency. And what I can say that a organization who is efficient needs to have lot of automations into it, and a CIO is the best persons to do that. And that's the role changes is happening. No more a CIO is talking about how to build probably a laptop environment or etc. etc. It's more into a strategic intent.
What role does social media play in your company? Do you feel like social networks have made a significant impact in your business?
It is. The reason is today if you look at any Facebook and Twitters, they are the fastest way to reach anybody. And with all our intentions, the marketing activity, what we do with respect to a new media activities and all, these are the driving role for all of us, and we have a separate social media strategy altogether present available, and we built a lot of new media platform. That's how to repurpose all our content on different internet and mobile platform, tablet platform, etc. And also getting into a connected TV platform, like today if you look at any televisions, they are internet connected. So how to repurpose all our content on all this platform, and the fastest way to reach to the customer is social media, and we are utilizing social media in a big way. So the integrations with a Facebook, integrations and all this, Twitter and all these things is happening on a very regular basis, and social media marketing etc. is our major activity with respect to all marketing initiatives.
Great. Have you begun implementing open cloud architecture also in your company?
Yeah.
If so, what are the biggest challenges to working in the cloud and your biggest successes so far?
See, the biggest benefit over cloud, which we have put all our new media platform on a open cloud at this moment. So we are using AWS, Amazon Web Services, and what we are doing over there is putting all our new media platform. That's primarily all our websites where we monetize. We have put it over there. The reason why we have chosen a cloud platform, because the uncertainty on the number of users what you can get into it. Being a cloud is elastic, you can enroll lot of capacity over there on the fly. So the cloud is the only solutions for us to use that. And on our cloud initiatives, apart from the open cloud, we have also virtualized platform for all our applications too, the normal IT applications too. So cloud is a big initiative for us. Apart from this, all my content today on a content delivery is using cloud. My, again, new media with respect to the advertisement services, it's also on a cloud. It's a service as a platform, and all these things are on cloud. So primarily cloud is a big strategy for us, and going further we will be envisaging all our applications should be also on cloud.
Great. Many executives have already envisioned a post-PC era where mobile and cloud technologies completely revolutionize how we store and process data. What steps has your company taken to begin innovating in this direction?
On mobility?
Yes.
Mobility is one of the key areas. Forget about today, desktop and all these things is something putting a productivity on a low. Okay, so mobility has to happen. The entire sales force has to move around, and mobility is no more question mark, should we or should not we. And we are going ahead with respect to, we have implemented Citrix also onto it. So mobility on a tablet platform, we have a big strategy for it, and we are slowly moving lot of our applications also on web platforms, and that gives all on a mobility point of view, bringing every applications into that platform soon. So it's a gradual process. We are seeing that non-critical to be put over there on the mobile platforms, and slowly we are looking into the business critical applications also on the mobile platforms too.
Have you noticed a shift in the workplace bring your own device trend, and how has it affected workplace productivity? Do you feel that people are more connected because of it, or is it more of a nuisance?
BYOD is a policy, every organizations are looking into it, and we have also intensively evaluated that. We have recently implemented mobile devices only at this moment with respect to BYOD, and that's primarily bringing any kind of devices to the organization, you can buy it. but we have not looking for a desktop or a laptop environment on a BYOD till now. Primarily, I personally feel that BYOD will not bring a cost advantage or a administration advantages to the organizations. That's primarily on a BYOD policy with respect to maybe you want to build a VDI kind of environment, and along with that, if you are reimbursing the devices cost to the employee, the cumulative cost will be pretty high and compared to any standard model which normally organization adopt. With respect to the mobile, we are doing it. Primarily the changes is happening very rapidly on a mobile devices. You have Android, different versions coming on, iOS, the different type of phones coming on, and that's bringing all the kind of employees to bring their own devices, and they love to do that. But that's the reason we have implemented BYOD only for the device, for the mobile devices. But for the computing, basic computing, we may not use in a risk.
Have there been any changes in the way you view security? How big of an issue is online protection to your company?
Security is one of the major concerns for our industry. A content security is prime concern. We do not expect a particular content before showing on a television should come out and should leak, and that is a huge revenue loss and a reputation loss for us. So we continuously measuring how to have a content security and put all kind of effort towards content security and the DLP, that is data leakage preventions and all these things. And this is major concerns, and we have set out processes for that, but continuously we have to work towards it, because the creations of content and the management of the content, which needs to go to the various people in the organization, not only to us, to the various other post-production setups, etc. That's where we need to be very particular that how it is getting handled. And from an online point of view, this is where it goes to online. So we need to see that the proper content should be going over there. Apart from that, there are a lot of unethical sites which use all our content to create their own websites and all these things. Primarily, they can use a embed code on a YouTube and can put their own website. So we are very particular. We have a lawyer firm who looks into the unethical sites, and we send the legal notice to all these websites, and we try to manage that, how much we can do.
Right. Do you feel that IT in general is given enough credence to the immediate success of the business?
Again, IT is a functions where everything should work, then IT is good. So nobody will come and tell you you are doing a wonderful job. Nobody is coming and telling you are doing a bad job. Till that time, IT always is doing a good job. So that's immediate. But if you build certain things, certain solutions, certain processes which is cutting edge, and that gives a efficiency, definitely every organizations valued that, and they just put a lot of respect to such IT organization of industry, where they look into it differently. Rather than providing a basic hardware or a software provider, you need to see that how the business is running, and you need to be a business enabler rather than a mere IT.
Next big thing in IT in your opinion, and what are your top priorities for the next 12 months going forward?
Going forward, we would like to have business process management implemented in our organizations. That's primarily we have created over last 4 years various IT systems, but all these processes running out of all these systems are manually connected today on the basis of the need. Now we need to see that how effectively you are utilizing all these IT systems, which is again driving a business process, and that's the reason we are evaluating business process management. We would like to automate all these processes, business processes. Like I'll just give you an example. Digital asset management is one system, broadcast management system is another system. We need to see that all the processes running out of these two systems needs to be integrated tightly, so that the efficiency are getting measured once, and secondly we are much more efficient than what we are today.
Right. In terms of selecting IT vendors and choosing and negotiating the best IT services and solutions for your organization, what are the important tenets that you follow to ensure vendors fully understand your business needs and work in harmony with your department to achieve your vision?
Today, if you look at, there are various IT partners, IT service partners, they have a center of excellence with respect to media and entertainment practices. We see that if they have such center of excellence, they understand our businesses much better than any other IT providers. And we see that when we are evaluating for any critical projects, they should understand the complete business of a media. They should have a proper experience, maybe on India, maybe abroad, but they should have a proper experience towards it. And then we look to them in a different way, rather than somebody is coming and say, I can do this, but what they do not know. Okay, so we have a measurement parameters, we have a steady processes for vendor evaluations, and we look into that very stringently.
Okay. If you could impart some words of wisdom to the younger you when you were first starting out in IT, what would you say? Would you do anything different?
Understand business rather than understand IT. Then the growth path will be much faster and much steeper. Many of our young generations, they look into IT as a IT. IT is not a functions by itself. IT is a business enabler. And if we understand that in a different way, that our existence is to enable the business in an efficient way, then our growth path will be much faster than only looking IT as a IT. IT does not do anything, absolutely nothing for themselves. And we need to know that in any industry, any organization, IT is a function, they don't do anything for themselves.
Ajay, 2011 saw a lot of hype around big data and how technology such as Hadoop could take your data and transform it into meaningful, useful information. Recently, however, the focus of big data has been on understanding data in relation to your company, rather than deep diving into an infrastructural IT overhaul and investing in tools and technologies that could be irrelevant to your needs. What are the important first steps to be considered, and how are you storing and working with your data to get to the bottom of how much is too much, and whether big data technology is a viable solution to the data problem?
I will give you certain business examples which is a challenges today for a media industry specifically. Digitization is a must activity for every media organizations today. So that's converting the tapeless tape organization to a tapeless organizations. So we all has to convert all our content from a normal tapes, and we need to convert from them a file system. So all of a sudden we are seeing that there is a growth, huge growth with the storage requirement and a database requirement. Now secondly, when we are looking into this content, to store it properly, we have to tag it properly with various metadata properties and all. So it's a immense activity. Secondly, it's not mere metadata, it's a media logging. Media logging means, just to explain you, if a particular portion of a content needs to be, like a movie song, needs to be metadata, you need to know that who are the actors on that particular songs, etc. This all are getting into a properties and which is getting stored on a databases. Now consider merger and acquisitions were happening, and you are buying lot of contents from a content provider or content production houses. In that cases, you are bringing all this file and all the metadata information which is residing in different databases, different way. So that needs to be bring into a organizations where that databases needs to be understood by my databases, and that's where the big data plays a major roles. And I could see at this moment, though it's on a very young stage, this is maturing, and we definitely expect big data to mature as soon as possible so that we can utilize.
There is much debate around the subject of real-time data collection and whether it is worth gathering it, especially if organizations cannot act upon it. What is your approach to real-time data? Do you see the IT eventually excluding human labor connected with data collection altogether? And how cost efficient do you think this would actually be for most enterprises relative to the amount of data that is collected?
There is a mix of hype of the real-time data collection and the usability to it. A data is a data until and unless it has been used properly. Okay, so that's the reason many of the places the real-time data gathering is happening, but again it is going to a databases, and merely it is getting stored over there until and unless somebody is putting a visual eye and utilize this data to a informations. That's where many of the organizations are failing. So the way is data gathering, real-time data gathering is not an issue. You should do that. But how you are using it, that's a major question, and we should, yes, IT organization, if you look at it, is anti-human many of the time. So if we are building a process, efficient process, it's definitely cutting down somebody's activity. Okay, so it will definitely reduce people. And if you look at how India is different than a Western countries, that's where the less number of people are working over there. And over here in India, because probably we have a lot of people, that's a different thing, but definitely a lot of people are working for the same purpose. IT efficiency will come when we'll cut down all these processes into a automations, and once we put automations, probably there would be less number of people working towards it. Real-time data gathering, to come back to your question, it is required, it should happen, but again, we should go to the next step.
What is your strategy for aligning technology with business? How are you concentrating your focus on creating business value by consolidation and consumerization of IT within the organization?
Every year, as an organization way of working, all the managing teams get into a room and creates the roadmap for the organizations. That's a strategy or the roadmap for the organization percolated to every department, and we are supposed to create the strategy or the roadmap for our functions. So that's a derived way of how I as a IT head can help organizations with the respect to the strategy what has been built for the organization. So this is a standard way of doing in Sony, and that's what we do. So we every year build our strategy on the basis of a business driven one, and then we'll start looking into how to implement it. Secondly, all our strategies, there are definitely two big ticket projects in a year, which with respect to IT or the technology, not only IT, as a technology, how we are complementing business with respect to two things. One is efficiency gain and second is cost cutting. Cost cutting is not a mere cost cutting, it is basically driving more value with a lower cost. So that's what is our goal, and we all get measured with respect to these two aspects of activities where we are cutting down some sort of percentage of the cost, the operational cost, and also bringing some amount of efficiency. And that's,
as a CIO, you get bombarded probably daily with new technologies and trends. Some of them pick up and take off literally overnight, and others dissolve as quickly as they appeared. What is your best advice to CIOs looking to make significant advancements but without overseeing or taking unnecessary risks?
There are two words for the same meaning. It's either you can call as pioneer or a guinea pig. Okay, so pioneer is a best way of describing for the adoptions of a new technology, and you can be called guinea pig. The difference over here is how much you evaluate properly before implementing a new buzzwords, which many of times we hear it in a seminar like this. Okay, so the question over here is, yes, there are a lot of things, new things is coming into it. We should not get excited with how does all this technology is bringing, how does the technology does it have some kind of meaning to our processes, our organization or our industry? Is that some meaning? Yes, look into it, evaluate it properly, and if it is making sense, you should also look into implement it, and then you can call yourself as pioneer. Otherwise, you just implement something that doesn't give any kind of business value, then you just scrap it off later on and you're throwing off a lot of organization money. So my piece of advice is, do not get excited with what it can do. Does it have some kind of value in the organization? Then probably it's a reason to look into it.
Ajay, it's been a pleasure talking to you. Thank you for interviewing with Saltmarsh.
Thanks a lot. Thanks to you too.
You.
Thank you.